Vegeta versus Toppo. Hate it. Hate everything about it. Hate this fight. Hate everything about it. I don't like any aspect of this fight. We'll just remind y'all why I think that certain people in this sphere should be canceled. I recently had a birthday, right? You know, type shit, 2 days old, not milking that. There's some people in this world like Carthu, you know, wish happy birthday. There's some in this world like Rab, you know, wish happy birthday. Some niggas, they even DM you, like shout out Mel, Val type shit, right? Then you get some niggas like y'all mans. And I don't even need to say who, cause you gonna hear who. Just listen to this, y'all.
Random thought, but like, I'm sitting here editing, and like the thought of you being a bitch just popped in my head. So it's like, I only came here to tell you that you a bitch ass nigga. And like, nigga, I hope you have a bad night, you sleep loose. And like, I hope the bed bugs bite your caboose, old ass nigga. Fuck you.
That bitch ass nigga, man. That bitch ass young nigga, man. You gotta get these young niggas out of here, bro. That's why I say that guy does not deserve a channel. But speaking of lame ass niggas, we have, for some people, the lamest nigga in Dragon Ball history today. We're gonna talk about how he fights. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another tier list, and today it is about your prince, Vegeta. Vegeta's fight tier list. We are here today to rank every single Vegeta fight out there. A lot of losses, some wins, and I think this tier is gonna be like, instead of the typical him tier and honor Vegeta, nah, this a W. Let's start it off with Goku and Vegeta versus Cooler. And this is Goku and Vegeta versus Meta Cooler. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you were talking about that one singular Cooler, all right, I say that's cool, whatever. If you was talking about that one scene where the million coolers pop up, that's just a cool, good moment. But if you're talking about on Namek, Goku and Vegeta fighting Cooler, tough L, dog. And before y'all start tweaking out, sure, the animation for some of you is definitely rose tinted when it comes to how that first 2v1 is exchanged. Maybe that scene is iconic for you. I think it is just a really good scene when they are both powering up against the million coolers and shit. Y'all don't talk about anything else in that movie for a fucking reason. Mind you, personally, the fight in the movie, not Team 4 Star that condenses it, but in the movie, it's okay. It's still not bad. But when you go from everything past the 2 moments I've mentioned until the resolution of the movie, it is objectively bad. They're captured, they power up, whatever. Then they fight the final boss Cooler, and he's just like a bunch of Ethernet cords. And then they almost lose to him when they should have lost to him. Vegeta off guards him, and then Goku just punches harder. None of that was good, man. None of that was good at all. They kind of wrote themselves into a wall and just had no way of writing themselves out of there. It's pretty bad. Again, if you're focused on the 2 moments prior to that, you could see yourself maybe going here, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. The fact that those 2 moments aren't undoubtedly fire easily take this to tough L for me. Not to start the video with negativity. To start the video with some positivity though, this is rather early. Goku versus Vegeta, base form, no techniques, just hands. Fire. Fire. Unironically, Vegeta wins this fight. So for some people, nah, that's a W. But now, I'm not gonna say it's the peakiest of fights, right? You barely see it, but what you do see is very good. Yeah, if we saw more of this fight, it probably would just be objectively at nah, that's a W. But nah, it's a fire fight. Vegeta versus Janemba. His scrap against Janemba specifically kind of was just the typical. In fact, this was the typical Vegeta. This is the typical Vegeta. For those that don't know what I mean by typical Vegeta, Vegeta shows up, gets his ass kicked, Goku does better, something else, or they fuse, you know what I'm saying? But this is the typical Vegeta has to get his ass beat. So it's nothing horridly bad, it's just, I mean, the show. You're mad at me and the show did that, dog. This is a typical Vegeta right here. That's literally a typical Vegeta. Goku versus Vegeta. Boo Saga edition. Not gonna lie, that's just a W, dog. I don't need to overthink this. I don't need to push a hot take for you. Sure, you can argue like how some people argue about Goku versus Cell. I'm some people. That there's like certain slow moments in the fight, sure, whatever. Certain dialogue for some of you may run too long, sure, whatever. But you talk about just the choreography, the importance of it, the stakes of the fight, the pride behind the fight. And because both were, I think people don't talk about how Goku pretty much let his pride get in the way and for this to happen as well. Everything into this fight is in character, makes sense. Motives are believable. Timing is believable. And the fact that the timing is stupid makes it even more believable, to be honest. And it also just looks like a very fantastic fight. I don't need to talk to you as to why Goku versus Vegeta in the Buu Saga was a fantastic fight. Vegeta versus 15. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of the one shot, very forgettable fight. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in tough L. It's just forgettable. Vegeta versus 18. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, I like that fight. I'm not gonna put this in now this was a W, but I really, really, really like this fight. I'm gonna say this is a fire fight. I think this fight doesn't get talked about enough for how like consistently good it is, and it just really much harped on the theme of like, yo, Vegeta, low key, probably just stronger, but he ain't gonna be able to keep that shit up, and the strength is not strong, and he's not strong enough to just one tap her, so GG's to that guy. And they illustrated rather well with Vegeta wasting time, running around the fucking city, crashing out, just missing heavy hitting shots, all that stuff. And then 18's kind of just calm, cool, collected, just consistently boxing him up until inevitably Goten style. So yeah, I really like this fight. It has a nice story told within the fight. A very interesting dynamic with Vegeta and 18. Yeah, I like this fight. I like this fight. Vegeta versus 19. I've told you there's two types of Vegetas that are peak Vegeta. Vegeta when he's most desperate, and Vegeta when he's running shit. This is easily a W fight for me. This is easily a W fight for me. And it's short, it's a pub stomp, I understand that. But this is just like the perfect definition of what Vegeta is at his best. Again, when he's his most desperate, he's up there as well. But when Vegeta is in complete control of a situation and just being an arrogant Saiyan, it's so good. It's so good. It's not even about the back and forth in the fight. There is no back and forth. These are just quotable one-liners, pub stomping a fat clown robot, and it's awesome. I love the dialogue here. I love the debut of the Big Bang attack. I love how everyone's freaking out at the fact that, oh my God, Vegeta might even be stronger than Goku. What the fuck is going on? It's awesome. This is the gang fight against Anyalaza. I think this is a solid scrap. I might have ranked it higher in the last one. I don't know. I just think it's a solid scrap. 17 looks really good in this fight, but everybody else is kind of just typical. How do we beat this Megazord Power Rangers ass shit? It's a solid scrap. Nothing too crazy. Vegeta beating up Beerus for like 2 minutes. It was fire. So like I said, desperate Vegeta is up there as well. This is a very desperate moment out of him. Plus he's a little pissed off because you smacked his fucking wife. I'm not gonna overrate it because it is like, it's somehow even shorter than 19. It's like 10 punches tops, 1 Gallic gun GG, but it's fucking fire. That shit's fucking fire. Vegeta versus Bojack. Now, I honestly should say typical L, but I think this one's even less charming and creative than Janemba. I'm gonna go tough L. I'm gonna go tough L. It's not even like, if you're factoring everyone Vegeta fights, I guess, Vegeta shoots through that building a couple times, then gets fucking folded, and that's it. It's nothing. Honestly, I want to say keep that fight, because at least the Janemba one looks cool because Janemba just looks cool. But Vegeta in this fight, this isn't even typical Bojack hate. Like, this might be the weakest fight in the Bojack movie, and I do think the Bojack movie's not that good. But in this movie, it's literally, they shoot through the buildings, they go top to bottom. I think they have that one little runway scene. Trunks tried to talk him out of it. He hits Trunks, and then he gets fucking folded. Honestly, you can keep it. Maybe tough L if something's just way worse. But I think they can keep that fight. This is Vegeta dealing with Vegeta and Winnie the Pooh on him. This is a tough L. I like the only thing I like about this fight that's not keep that fight is the idea that Dragon Ball was creative enough to try this and be like, how would you have beat him if he wasn't deaf? The answer is yes, Vegeta's just way stronger now. Vegeta versus Broly. This is a typical Vegeta L. This is a typical Vegeta, Z Broly, by the way. This is a typical Vegeta L. yeah, you know he has no chance in hell, but he's gonna go out there and try after, funny enough, in this movie, he would not try. That's kind of why it's not in Tough L. This is Vegeta. I keep saying typical Vegeta L, even though it's LOL, but it really is typical Vegeta L. Yeah, no, he finally mans up, wants to fight Broly, gets pub stomped rather quickly, but it's the fact that he was so hesitant to fight him for a long time that makes this work for me. Vegeta versus Super Broly, I think, is really good. Arguably the best fight in the movie. I'm not gonna put it into this was a W quite yet, but I'm considering it. This is really, really, really good. Really, really, really good of a fight. Again, you can argue Gogeta, you can argue the Goku fight. I think that this is probably the best version of the fights in there. I just really like the Goku like time stop thing. That was really fucking cool. But regardless of which one you think is the best, I think all are really, really good, and this is a fire fucking fight, without a shadow of a doubt. This probably will end up moving up, but for now I'm gonna put it in fire. Vegeta versus Fat Boo. This is just the final atonement. The final atonement is a all-time moment, but if we're classifying these as fights, this is solid scrap. It's nothing too crazy. It's just the final atonement. So I guess Mickey-wise it's up here, but as a fight, I mean, it's just a sacrifice. It's more than just typical Vegeta because he sacrifices here, but yeah. So comment below how you feel about that. Somebody's gonna skip to the end of the video, and what I'll probably start doing to these is like rage baiting those who skip to the end of the video. But yeah, the final atonement itself, all-time Dragon Ball moment, no shit, Sherlock. But in terms of fight, it's not a fucking fight. He walks up, calls him fat, and blows himself up. Vegeta versus Kaba, solid scrap. Vegeta versus Kaba is solid scrap. I like it. I like it. I like that a lot. Mentorship role, kind of like fake gangsta presses him, tries to get him mad. It works because Kaba's stupid. And then he still one-taps him, shows him that he has far to go, despite the fact that him being a Super Saiyan that's pushing Vegeta at this stage in his career as Super Saiyan is very impressive. Vegeta versus Second Form Cell. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think this is fantastic for Vegeta's character, but I don't know what it is. This fight, to me, Vegeta's fantastic, but it's solid. It's a solid fight to me. It's like not a top tier Vegeta pub stomp to me. To be honest, Vegeta's dialogue hard carries for me. Just like Vegeta's demeanor and dialogue hard carry this fight for me. But in terms of what happens in it, it's cool. Has some cool moments, like when Vegeta's hanging upside down and he stops him right there, punches him hard in the gut. But it's not like a fight that I ever really go back to. You tripping? I guess some of you guys have all the fucking Vegeta fights, and this is W and fire and shit. So I'm not really bugging off of chat. But this is I'm not tweaking too bad. I'm not tweaking too bad over this. Vegeta versus Cell Jr. I mean, everyone on the sideline would get this tier. This is literally job for Gohan. Cell Jr. here beating the fuck out of them. This is typical Vegeta. LOL. Perfect. See, like for example, if I have to watch either of the Cell Saga Vegeta beatdowns, I like the Perfect Cell one more. I'm not gonna say it's a different tier, but I like the Perfect Cell one more because at least in the Perfect Cell one, it's kind of like Vegeta has to live with his consequences, as well as I like a Desperate Vegeta, and it's kind of like you get the final flash, you get the oh shit he survived moment, you get the I thought he was dead moment, you get the Karyugen elbow. I like the Perfect Cell beatdown more than the Second Form beatdown, and I don't think that the Second Form beatdown was like anywhere near base Goku Vegeta to the point where I'm putting this one above that. So yeah, I think I did that right. These are solid. Vegeta versus Kui, or no, that is Kui. Not trying to be racist. Dirty Fireworks is awesome. Nothing too much. Dirty Fireworks is awesome. Is nothing too much further than that. Vegeta versus Dodoria, same elements there. Granted, it doesn't have a Dirty Fireworks, but I think that the beatdown and the lore that's in this fight is enough to put it in the same tier. Vegeta versus Frieza Part 1, when they're like grabbing hands and shit, and it's like, oh shit, Vegeta might be able to keep up with Frieza, and then he transformed. It's not the longest skirmish. I'll say solid scrap, barely. I could even see it in typical Vegeta. Fire? Hell no. What the fuck? It wasn't even that long of a fight. The fight's like 30 seconds. The fight is literally a standoff of this. He catches the punch and that's it. No, hell no, that's not fire. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's typical Vegeta. Not because it is typical Vegeta, but it's just so short. It's so short. It's a stepping stone fight, and that's fine. Vegeta versus Final Form Frieza. Not gonna lie, this was a fire moment in Dragon Ball. This is where Vegeta's technique is incarnate to me. You could argue he been doing it. You could argue against Raccoon specifically is when it was born. But no, this is where I think, yeah, this is Vegeta's technique. Because you see him do it at the most, like, OD level of just hawking down Frieza, and then we're like, dude, this is not going to work. What are you doing? He's crying the entire fight. You get, especially if we're going to when he gets killed, you get the payoff as to why. I fucking love this. I might even put it in this is W. This is a high contender for me in Fire. I think the characterization behind this fight is so fucking beautiful. And then just the way Frieza beats him down like an abusive father type shit. It's honestly cinema. I'm really talking myself into putting this up there, and I'm gonna do it. So fuck it. It's my list. I'm putting that up there. I really like this fight. Vegeta versus Frost. Oh my God, you can keep that shit. You could keep that fight, and I'm mad that you released it. That should have stayed in your head. You going back to the hood for that fight. Yeah, this wasn't fun. Again, there's so many ways that this arc could have been better. A lot of people, for some reason, the super fans love the Universe 6 saga. I think it was very underwhelming, even though in the moment, sure, you got some cool things, but when you go back, it maybe it's just the fact that we're like, damn, this could have been way better. It's just an underwhelming arc to me. And even in the moment, I never thought it was like peak. But especially Vegeta versus Frost is one of the 3 most underwhelming parts of the series. Frost as a character is underwhelming. This fight is underwhelming as well. I don't have that much to talk about it, bro. This shit sucks. Vegeta going blue and beating the fuck out of Trunks. I'm not gonna lie. Typical Vegeta in the good way. It's just Vegeta beating the everlasting shit out of Trunks for being like a punk. And I fuck with it. I'm not gonna say it's a great fight. He just beats I might even put it in Solid's Gap. He really does beat the hell out of Trunks. It's funny. This is Vegeta and Goku versus Gas. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna play pretend. I don't have too much recollection about them jumping him so much as I do have like Goku fighting him. I think I'm gonna go Solid. I really want to see this arc animated. But in terms of the manga, I think I'm gonna go Solid. Yeah, I'm gonna go Solid. Just the idea that there's a being that is keeping up with them too type shit is pretty fucking cool. Vegeta beating the hell out of Golden Frieza was awesome. The only reason it's not in this is a W is because for some reason he doesn't get the W. It's fucking weird, so I can't put it here because the ending is so weird. It's that weird to me personally. But this beatdown is fucking awesome. This is where Vegeta fans, I'm 100% with you. I don't know why they didn't just let Vegeta get the W here. It was so out of place just to give you a callback to, remember we told you we can spin back time. Didn't even need to introduce the element. Vegeta beating all hell out of Ginyu was solid. I'm not gonna say that it was all time. It just looks good. Like that, like, you know how like the meteor combo looks fire? I wish that combo of Vegeta beating all fuck out of Ginyu Goku and Ginyu would have been kept. That boy gave him like a 15-piece combo that should be iconic. Rose pub stomping Vegeta, typical Vegeta. If that's not typical Vegeta, I don't know what it is. If that's not typical Vegeta, I don't know what it is. I don't know, man, next. Now, the get back is fire. The get back is fire. Maybe perhaps a little too short. You could even argue a somewhat speck of typical Vegeta because he like pisses Goku Black off and tells him, hey, if you just tapped into your anger, you'd be on this. But this shit was awesome. I'm not gonna say this is a W just because I think these 3 are just that much better. But this was really good. Goku versus Vegeta. Come on. Anyway, I don't need to explain why this is arguably the most thematic fight in the show, arguably the best looking fight in the show you could even go for. This is arguably peak Vegeta because you don't know it, but he's very arrogant and desperate at the same time, so you get both peak Vegeta boost. I don't need to, come on, dog. Vegeta Adult Super Saiyan 3 versus Goma. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. But like you never feel like he's going to win. If he had won, the shocker effect might bump this up, but you don't feel like he's going to win. And because of that expectation, I have to admit, The choreography of it doesn't carry it to fire, but it does look good. It's a beautiful looking fight. So I'm gonna say it's solid. Say solid scrap. Vegeta beating all fuck out granola was fire. I ain't gonna lie. I might even put it in nah, this is W. I understand a lot of people don't like the granola arc, but shit, yeah, I like this moment. I like Ego. I like the debut of Ego a lot. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga had the little pose or whatever, and then he just starts beating the everlasting shit out of granola. I ain't gonna lie. I really might put this in nah, this is W. Fuck it. Yeah, it's my list. Fuck you. It's my list. I love this moment. I love this moment a lot. He was beating the everlasting fuck out of granola, and it was fun. Vegeta one-tapping Goldo. This honestly is typical Vegeta, just in the opposite end, kind of like how I was alluding to with Trunks. He just one-tapped the guy and was like, man, I'm not wasting my time with fucking dog treat. Vegeta versus Hit. I mean, anybody that's gonna act like this is a good fight's a fucking liar. This is typical Vegeta across all accounts. Vegeta versus Jace. I really do like how he beat the fuck out of the Ginyu Force. So anytime Vegeta gets a dub in the Ginyu Force, it's solid scraps. Goku and Vegeta versus Jiren. This is when Vegeta has Bluer and they start jumping him. That's solid scraps. I don't think Jiren has a bad fight in Dragon Ball Super. Even like the lower tier ones are at least creative somewhat. So yeah, but this is one of the lower end Jiren fights, I'll admit that. Vegeta's Last Stand versus Jiren. I don't know if I want to go fire, but I really like this moment of Vegeta trying, and we know he don't stand a chance in hell because he's fucking depleted stamina-wise, but I really like this. I really liked Vegeta's like go home episode. I really liked it. High solid, low fire. You can comment below. Now Vegeta using the Sharingan to catch on of Jiren's bullshit. I think that was fire. I think this is like, so I've talked about desperate Vegeta and I've talked about arrogant Vegeta. Another form of Vegeta is the fuck that I'm a battle genius Vegeta. And this was where, okay, he relatively shouldn't do better than Goku under any circumstance, especially at this moment in the series. But then he just kind of like outsmarts both of them, and he's just on timing for like, it's not the longest time because he is just severely outclassed. But for a brief couple of moments, you're like, damn, Vegeta's on to some shit, and it's very fun to watch. It's very fun to watch. Vegeta versus the Power Ranger, typical Vegeta, maybe even Tough L. I might even put Tough L. It's when, for those that don't know, it's when he's trying to achieve Ultra Instinct and it's just not gonna work. And he's like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna do my own thing. Pretty fucking funny. So that's why I'm bumping it up. But if you don't find it funny, then it's Tough L for sure. Vegeta versus Kid Buu. It's typical Vegeta, but I like this one more, mainly because Buu, just as a fighter, is arguably the most creative in Dragon Ball history. Vegeta versus Vegeta. I'm gonna go solid. Starts off rather creative. You don't think he's ever going to lose, but it's an interesting dynamic of, damn, how are you gonna write him to win? Wonky ending, hit or miss for some. Me personally, shrug shoulder ending. I'm gonna say it's a solid scrap. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna bump it down one. Only because I think the moments that are in solid scrap are just more like rewatchable. So yeah, this is probably king of typical Vegeta. Probably. Vegeta and Trunks' Gallic Gun, aka Vegeta and Trunks versus Fusamasu for that brief moment in time they were fighting together. Cool concept with a Gallic Gun, obviously. I don't even think they throw hands. I think this is just the Gallic Gun. Cool concept, nothing too crazy. I'll just put it in solid and move on. Vegeta versus Moro. It wasn't too long of a fight, but it was cool when it was there. You know, it goes to another solid scrap. Solid scrap. None like Vegeta fans would brag about all the time, but it definitely was fun to see. This is Vegeta versus the, you don't see it, obviously, but like the millions of Masus are running up and what do we do? Type shit. It was a nice callback. This moment's a nice callback. The resolution's definitely better than what you get in the anime, but it's nothing to brag about. Again, that's another solid scrap. Not trying to pawn so much stuff on solid scrap, but these are just solid scraps. Damn, it's gonna keep going. Vegeta versus Nova, again, another solid scrap. I like Goku Nova infinitely more. Omega versus both of them. Now, if you factor Gogeta, you may have a conversation for fire, but I'm not gonna lie. While this is definitely one of the more memorable ones, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say this is still solid because I've already told you, I think the Gogeta versus Omega fight is a bit overrated, especially in the anime. A lot of you guys, I think Twitter niggas take it too far to call him a game merchant, but a lot of you guys, some of you don't even remember GT, you just remember Budokai Tenkaichi 2 or 3, and remember how that fight looked in when you played it, or how it looked in the game. In the anime, it's pretty cool. I understand that he had to be goofy for his reasons, but it didn't really resonate well with me. Kind of left me sitting there like, I guess, for a good amount of the fight. And then just visually, it wasn't the most beautiful looking fight. Like, I always go back to this just to get the point across. If anything, when Gogeta is like doing the 1-frame blocks, that was cool, I guess. But like, to put in the concept of what I'm talking about, a lot of you guys remember this or this. This is how it looks in the show. And it's just cool to me. Is this Vegeta and Goku versus that sniper guy? You can keep that. Yeah, this looks like that. Yeah, that's that sniper guy that Tien then has to tank for. Yeah, that shit's ass. Vegeta beating up that guy when he puts his hand on his chest and then blows off his torso. That was fun. Nothing too crazy. It was fun. Short fight. Fun dialogue. Solid scrap. Vegeta versus Raccoon. I love Vegeta versus Raccoon. Now, if this was Kakarot Vegeta versus Raccoon, don't ask why. It's just like the best fight in the fucking game. But it's not, but it's still really good. And for some reason, they just give Vegeta and Raccoon a lot of love in this fight. So, yeah. There's that. Like the fucked up armor, the Vegeta looking like he is like the most tired he's ever been in the series. For some reason, they gave this fight a lot of love, and I'm fuck with it. Vegeta versus Ribrianne, this was just tough to watch every time you saw it. It was never fun. It was never entertaining. I didn't like their dynamic necessarily, which you would think you would like with Ribrianne being like kind of a pseudo gag character and Vegeta being all the serious, but it just didn't work for me. I didn't really care about it. What is this? Is this Omega again? Oh, this is the stall for time Vegeta versus, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I was pretty over it. You can keep that fight. Hot take. Vegeta beating up the Tamagami. Hey, man, I ranked the Delilah fight lower earlier. This fight is fucking awesome. Vegeta beating the fuck up on this Tamagami. It's so good. It's so good. I love this fight. It's so good, especially the ending. Especially literally this picture. Chill out, bro. It's over. I love that shit, bro. The debut of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, for many reasons, you could even argue it's in this a W tier, and I certainly will be going back to do so. Vegeta versus Toppo. Hate it. Hate everything about it. Hate this fight. Hate everything about it. Hate everything about this. I don't like any aspect of this fight. The only aspect of this fight that I will give you all is Vegeta detesting someone who would throw his morals and pride away. Sure, that's about it. And ever since, once you get past that, it's such a drag. Toppo just starts spamming Hakai. Vegeta, sure, the dialogue's cool or whatever, but even if all of that is me hating, Blue looks good, Hakai spam is fine, awesome stuff, fine. What immediately DQs this fight for me and why I personally hate it is that weak-ass callback. That weak-ass callback, I cannot stand it. That shit is so bad. It's literally the biggest ugh. I got the ick from looking at Vegeta. Rare Sage L, you. Because if you claim to be a Vegeta fan, if any of you in chat claim to be a Vegeta fan, y'all shouldn't be detesting this like how you are right now. And I am gaslighting because I need this gas lit. There is no way you niggas claim to be Vegeta fans and then sit there and like that moment. That was the worst Vegeta moment of all time, no discussion. Him doing a callback to what he did in the Buu saga, surviving it, and then it also being the weakest reason to do said callback was awful. It's just so awful. It was a wink wink nudge nudge for dead no reason. Shit was awful. Shit was awful. You tripping, I guess. I'm falling then, stupid. Y'all niggas like anything. That was so bad. It's comically bad. I'm actually thinking less of niggas because y'all think that was good. That was so bad. if you like the animation prior to it, fine. You like how it looked prior to it, fine. That shit is horrible. That nigga randomly doing another final atonement except surviving on all accounts was fucking horrible. Oh my God. Vegeta beating up Trunks, typical, tough L. I mean, no, it is typical. It was funny. Can you land a hit type shit? That was funny. Cause you tripping. I feel like you're baiting. It wasn't that bad. It was a last ditch effort. Fine, fuck it. Just cause this tier list video is rather short. Hold on. Let me remind you guys exactly how this plays out. Let me remind you how this plays. Mind you, an infinitely better fight was going on to begin with it. Because prior to that, you have 17 versus Toppo, which is a way better fight. Infinitely better fight. Infinitely better fight. The creativity of 17 trying to land a hit on someone who looks unhittable. Way better fight. So that's off rip minus points. You're already making the television worse. Then you have Frieza intervening, taunting Toppo as well. That's also better. But no. Niggas want a Vegeta bot and glaze. Awesome. Then you get that moment where Frieza gets his fucking head squished. Bro, hold on, bro. Cause you have Android 17 versus Toppo, then you get Frieza versus Toppo. Frieza survives. This callback's kind of cool, I guess. It's nothing too bad. It's just like, he did the pose. Awesome.
God. Oh my, this won't disappoint. I'll blow you away.
Yeah, so this is like, you could argue this is another cheap Frieza callback, but at least with this Frieza callback, it kind of works in the sense of it fits the current scenario. The guy is desperate, realizes he's about to lose. Hitting the pose again, you could argue is corny or cool. Hitting this pose again is argue corny or cool. And it doesn't work this time. He's not able to blow up the tournament. Toppo destroys that bitch, does this to him. By the way, I'm showing this to show you how a callback could work. This isn't the best one, but yeah, then you get this shit. This is how a callback, if you're going to do a callback, could be illustrated. This is something that is hit or miss. It couldn't work. But the point is, everything here makes sense. Now, if you take, and by the way, I'll show a little bit of the animation in between the two. I'm not gonna say it's an ugly fight when Vegeta starts kicking his shit in, but yeah. So this is how this looks. This is the amazing animation or whatever. This all-time fire that homages a bad moment. This is that part. Cool. This is the peak cinema. This is the peak cinema. All right, so then Vegeta powers up, starts crashing out. This part's pretty cool. Nothing bad about this. So yeah, Vegeta starts beating him out, punches through a Hakai. That was fucking awesome. The shock value of punching through a Hakai was cool. Cool. Once you get past that, that is the saving grace of this fight, and I think that's why you niggas are botting, because he punched through a Hakai. That was awesome. So punches through the Hakai or whatever, even though you kind of see Frieza do it earlier. Hey man, I'm over here talking about shock value. We saw Frieza condense it and Beerus snorted away, but not shock value. All right, so we get the shock value of, okay, Hakai doesn't mean instant GG for the third time in the series. Awesome. But regardless, I don't have an issue with that. Him punching through Hakai one time was cool. Anywho, so take all of that and then put it against this, because this was so desperate. So desperate. He's beating the shit out of him. You get a slideshow callback to it.
So completely, your regeneration won't be possible.
This is so bad. And they want to appease the idea that, this is how you override the Hakai energy. Well, this is how it won't be able to regen, maybe. So he then does this, and then it gets worse, because then Toppo just tries to do basically the same shit, makes another sphere. They clash spheres. I just don't see the connection for you guys. I struggle to see it. I really do. I'm trying right now to see it. He just breaks through the Hakai, GG, final explosion, and then he's not dead. Hey man, whatever floats your boat, dog. I think that is horrible. That is a horrible callback, especially given when I gave you guys a mid callback to Frieza earlier. But the Universe 9 thing, honestly, it was good illustration for how the tournament works, but it's nothing too crazy. The highlight of this fight is when they put up the when they put up the aura to counter the poison. That was cool, but it's nothing too crazy. Solid scrap. Or not typical Vegeta. This is literally training. Typical Vegeta, you don't see much of that. This is just when they have like that breakthrough with Blue one time. Cool moment, but nothing to brag about. Yajirobe versus Vegeta, I guess. Oh no, they're doing like Vegeta versus the field when it's no longer against Goku. I mean, this is solid. I think this is unfair to include. I factor that into the Saiyan Saga Vegeta fight. So if this is separate, I guess this is the solid part of the fight. Pause if needed. But now I factor all of this into the Saiyan Saga fight. I would even argue this is probably fire, but I wouldn't even rank this, to be honest. It's the stomping, yeah, the stomping of Yajirobe, the punching of Gohan turning into a thing. Like, yeah, it's I don't exclude that personally. But if I must exclude that, sure, this is like stepping zones to a greater fight later. Goku and Vegeta versus Fusamasu. Again, if it's not obvious, I don't think the Goku Black arc in terms of like the fights really peaked too high. It was just an interesting story more than anything. This fight's cool, except for that one fight. And if that fight counts for this, then we have a fire fight here. So yeah, does this include the fusion? I guess it does. Yeah, I'll be generous. I guess if this includes Vegito, it's fire. If it doesn't, it's cool. I don't even think it's a solid scrap. It's just typical because it's nothing memorable. I don't go back to that. Zarbon 1, typical Vegeta. Zarbon 2 was honestly pretty cool. Zarbon 2, I might even say is fire. Let me look at other stuff in fire. Because I really like the way that he beat the fuck out of Zarbon, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what it is, but just the way that like Zarbon thought he was hot shit and Vegeta was like, okay. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put this in fire because I think fire is really, really, really good. Yeah, it isn't that this isn't one of my favorites in solid scrap. It's just fire is really good. But without further ado, I do think that this is probably the 5. Except I really am tempted to put that Tamagami fight up there. That Tamagami fight is really good. I think what the issue for the Tamagami fight is just narrative. It doesn't have too much narrative behind it. And all these 5 fights have a good amount of narrative, but just from a visual perspective, these 2 fights are fucking beautiful. I'm gonna leave it how it is. I'm gonna leave it how it is. I think that the top tiers are pretty non-disagreeable. Maybe someone thinks something in typical or solid is peak, but I think that there's a vast difference between these fights and the fights below them. Let me know your thoughts, though. Vegeta, I fuck with Vegeta. He got some good fights. Not a lot of stinkers. He just has a lot of fights that are predictable, if that makes sense. I think this is the only fight from Vegeta that I just don't like. And I think that's even more, less than Goku or Gohan. I don't have a lot of Vegeta fights that I don't like. Except this one. I think that's fucking horrible. But, oh no, Frost. Yeah, you know what? Put Frost down there too. Yeah, put Frost down there too. This is awful. Yeah, outside of Frost and Toppo, Vegeta doesn't have, so I would say 2 fights from Vegeta that I just genuinely dislike. I don't classify this as a fight for real. That's why I'm saying keep that. This is typical movie Vegeta, but just in like the worst variant. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Vegeta, bro. Let me know if you think Vegeta has the best fight in Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z. He wasn't in the original Dragon Ball, which you guys didn't watch anyway, or the Super Manga. But this is me, your boy TSO Sage. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. Comment section. Let me know why the fuck chat likes the Toppo fight. Let me know if you like the Toppo fight. That's disgusting. You niggas are nasty.